Thank you. Thank you very much. I saw some of my Okie buddies sitting over here, and so I know we've got some Sooners here, and I want to say to all the folks from Louisiana, how about them Saints? I am delighted and honored that the Southern Republican Leadership Conference would think enough of me to extend me an invitation to come and to be with you and to see some old friends and to make some new friends. And as Ellen said to you, and Ellen, thank you very much for your kind words. Ellen and I worked together for several years. She was a part of my team in Washington, and now she's got a family and 2 kids and her little daughter. It looks like they, put Ellen in the microwave and shrunk her and got her little daughter. But we worked together, and boy, I'm sure proud of Ellen and her great family, her beautiful family. And so I'm delighted to be with you tonight. But again, I left Congress after the 2002 cycle, and folks from Oklahoma can tell you that when I ran, I said that I was going to run for 3 terms. I actually ran for 4. And so I am no longer a member of Congress. I'm putting kids through college and making memories with grandkids, and I'm just kind of enjoying getting a little bit of my life back. And I've got, I'm in that time of my life in putting kids through college that I'll have 2 kids in college at the same time for about 3 or 4 years. And we graduated a daughter last May, and she became gainfully employed about a month ago. And then I've got a son that's a freshman at the University of Tulsa and a daughter that's a sophomore at the University of Oklahoma. So I'm paying tuition in 2 places. And when I was in Congress, I did a lot of work for United Negro College Fund and raising money for them and assisting them. I do believe in their slogan, their motto, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. And as a matter of fact, here in New Orleans, there's an HBCU at Dillard's University, and the fellow that used to be the president of Dillard's is now the president of the United Negro College Fund, Chairman President Lomax. And President Lomax called me several months ago and asked me for a contribution. I said, President Lomax, I love you guys. I'm so proud of what you guys do. I said, however, today I am the United Negro College Fund. So I hope to get around to contributing again sometime next 4 or 5 years. Oklahomans and I've got such great friends in Oklahoma. And people, Republicans, that when I started my political career there, the Oklahoma Federation of Republican Women who just volunteered for me. The guy is in this room tonight that wrote me my first political check when I ran for the Oklahoma Corporation Commission, Lynn Wendell. I didn't know him. He just sent me a check. He said, count me in. I didn't know if it was a man or a woman. I just knew I'd gotten a $50 check, and I just was so appreciative that somebody had shown some support. But I've had such great friends, and when I started in politics in 1990, I ran for a statewide office, Oklahoma Corporation Commission. We are the Public Service Commission here in Louisiana, or the Public Utilities Commission in some states. That's who we are in Oklahoma. We call it the Corporation Commission. And we also have oil and gas. We regulate public utilities, oil and gas, trucking for hire. And, I've got to travel quite a bit and doing Lincoln Day dinners and doing Republican events. And I was in a state, and I went to a restaurant with some of my friends, and I said to the young man that was walking around putting cubes of butter on everybody's plate. And so he came around, and I was feeling pretty good about what I had accomplished, and that we had been elected in Oklahoma statewide at the agency that regulated public utilities and oil and gas. And so I noticed that he put 2 cubes of butter on everybody's plate. And so after I'd eaten my 2 cubes of butter, I had more bread. I needed more butter. And I got the attention of this young man. I said, young man, I said, could you bring me a couple of more pads of that butter? And he said, sir, we have a house rule. He said, only 2 cubes of butter per patron. And I said, surely you're kidding. He said, no, no, no. He said, that's house rule, 2 cubes of butter per patron. And I said, young man, do you know who I am? He said, no, sir. He said, I don't. I said, look, I used to be the starting quarterback at the University of Oklahoma. We were the winningest football team in the entire decade of the 70s. We had more wins than any other college or university in the country. Do you realize? He said, no, sir, I didn't. I said, do you realize that I'm the fellow that regulates public utilities and oil and gas in the state of Oklahoma? We directly impact about 65% of the state's economy, and we indirectly impact the other 35%. Do you realize that? And he said, no, sir, Mr. Watts. He said, I didn't. He said, but let me tell you who I am. He said, my name is Gary Jones, and I regulate the butter. So, you know, now they have the organization that we are all under their umbrella tonight have given an ordained Baptist minister 15 minutes. It takes us 15 minutes to say hello. But I'm going to try to stick to that time. You know, I being sandwiched between Mary and Liz, and then having a fella that I've always thought a great deal of, and Newt Gingrich, who will, you know, come after me. I am just plumb honored to be on the platform that these people have been up here tonight presenting to you. And I wrote some notes, but I just have never been too good at using notes, so we'll just talk. You know, if someone If any Republican or Democrat economist was to go to some third world country, go to some foreign country in Kenya or any of the Soviet bloc countries or anywhere in the world that they were trying to develop their economy, what would be the prescription for growing their economy and becoming a part of the global economy? What would those economists say to them? And this is Republican or Democrat economists alike would say: transparency, rule of law, less bureaucracy, low tax rate, property rights, governing models at work, freedom, you name it. That's what any economist, Republican or Democrat, would say. And I've often scratched my head as I've seen over the last 3 or 4 years things unfold in Washington. I've often scratched my head to say, if that's what we would say to third world countries and people in the global economy that wants to be a part of the global economy, if that's what we would say to them, why won't we do it here at home? Why